Hey, it's Cinco de Mayo. Welcome on into Daily Cards Live here on ClaibsOnline.com. I'm Joe Roderick, joined alongside by Bob Ramsey, and we are brought to you each and every day by Munganess St. Louis Acura and Royal Banks of Missouri. Rammer, the Cardinals are on the West Coast this weekend. That means late night baseball as they have 4 games against the Giants, the team with the best record in all of baseball in 2021, but a team that's fallen on a little bit of hard times here lately.
Yeah, I'd run into a losing streak called the Los Angeles Dodgers, but the National League West is still by far record-wise the best division in baseball, and I think they're going to be fun to watch all summer long. The Giants started out pretty well for the month of April, and they look like they're just kind of doing it the way they did last year, plug it in pieces and different guys coming through for them. They've got a nice little formula going there, it appears.
Both teams are 14-10 on the season. We will see the Giants right back at Busch Stadium next weekend. Rammer, when you have a team like this that is so good, we know that they're good. We know that they're going to probably be one of those 6 playoff teams in the National League, like we expect the Cardinals to be as when the season ends. What do you think? Good, bad, and different on playing them back to back here so early in the season?
I like more separation. I think when you play them and then you play them at their place, it's kind of a childlike way to put the schedule together. It's sort of the easiest way. Putting those schedules together, by the way, are very complicated, really a hard job. So I'm only sort of being a wise guy when I mention that, but I prefer more separation, yes.
If that beeping you hear, I guess the smoke detector is going off in my house, but I don't hear any screams, so I don't think it's anything to really worry about here at the moment. But hopefully it stops here in a few seconds.
We're okay.
Yeah, until I hear somebody yelling, that's when I'll sign off on the show. But hey, the Cardinals, a few roster notes to go over with what they have for today, going out in San Francisco. First off, let's get you the lineups for the game today. First off, the pitching matchups today. It's Miles Mikolas against Mauricio Llovera, which Rammer informed me before the show. 2 L's back to back make a Y. So you learn something new every day. Yeah.
Sí, amigo. Cinco de Mayo.
For the Cardinals, they lead off. Tommy Edman is at second base. Paul Goldschmidt at first. Nolan Arenado is at third. Tyler O'Neill hitting cleanup and playing left. Juan Yepez back in the lineup and DHing tonight. More on that in just a second. Harrison Bader's in center. Yachty behind the plate. Dylan Carlson back in the lineup in right field. And Paul DeJong at shortstop tonight, batting ninth. Edmundo Sosa still on the injured list. We have no idea why. No idea why. That tweet's been deleted. We don't know why Edmundo Sosa is on the IL.
He's got COVID.
For the Giants, no. The player did not want to be identified. Rammer, the player did not want to be identified. The Cardinals have deleted that tweet. We don't know why Edmundo Sosa is on the injured list.
Yeah, and I'll tell the jury to disregard those previous comments. Like that really works. He doesn't have an upper body or a lower body. He's got an inner body.
Inner body, yeah. Inner respiratory issue for him.
Before you go to the Giants lineup, a couple of interesting things there. Yepez gets another start against a right-hander, and they don't go to Corey Dickerson. I think that's interesting.
When you have Yepez up here, I think you got to use him. So I want to talk about.
You signed Dickerson to hit right-handers as a DH.
You did, and you know what? So far, he's not doing that for the Giants. Mike Yastrzemski is in center field. Jock Peterson DHing. Wilmer Flores at first. Brandon Crawford at short. Darren Ruff is in left. Luis Gonzalez is in right. Thario Estrada is at second. Jason Volser is at third, and Kurt Casilia is behind the plate. That Luis Gonzalez, that right fielder for the Giants, not the son of the former Diamondback, Luis Gonzalez. That his son actually in the minor league system for the Pirates, I learned last week. So there were people that thought that he was the Giants player, and he had to correct them and say, no, my son's with the Pirates right now. He is, so that was a something that the people within the Cardinal organization thought. So I want to talk about the Yepes thing. So Claves and I were talking earlier about this as he was down at the ballpark and he was kind of talking to guys. And I don't think, I mean, we saw Yepes start in right field yesterday for the Cardinals in Kauffman. I don't think you will see him play in right field at all this entire series. All 4 games, he won't get a sniff of right field. You're talking about a guy who just made his major league debut. You're not throwing him out there in right field at Oracle Park for one of his first ventures.
Are you saying because right field is too big there?
Too big, and Willie McGee can only do so much in so little time teaching guys how the ball's going to carry them off those walls.
Yeah, you may not see him. I'm not sure that would be the reason. If you got to get a bat in the lineup, you got to find a spot.
Put him in left and have O'Neill DH a game.
Yeah, you could do that. Look, you've been playing the game your whole life. You can't play every position. Come on.
I mean, and there are minor league parks that are also shaped a little differently and do have their little nooks and crannies. I would be surprised if they put him out there in right field this series. And not to mention
maybe because he doesn't have speed, but that outfield is the spot for him. Yeah, you could shuffle your outfield around. That's not a real dramatic thing to me. Make no mistake, he's here to hit. And if they put him in left and moved O'Neill or whatever, I think it depends on who's producing. It gives him options. Certainly there are a number of options with him and Dickerson and Dylan Carlson, who hopefully puts all of the talk to rest by starting to hit. If he can start hitting, then Yepes, Dickerson, Pujols, Gorman, everybody else, you fend for yourself. The one guy that can lock a position down is Dylan Carlson.
Dakota Hudson gets the start on Sunday this weekend. So with him being a ground ball pitcher, maybe that's another opportunity to throw Yepes out in right field, knowing that he's probably not going to get any action out there either.
Wow, that's some really deep analysis. You're telling me that Hudson's not going to miss away and they slap at the right field. I'm telling you, you're thinking like big league front offices think. And I think it's crazy.
Speaking of the front,
I'm the one who's out of step, not you. You could get hired by any. You're Moneyball. You're absolutely Moneyball. I'm the archaic one, but I'm right.
Speaking of the front office, they will have some moves to make. So because of the Edmundo Sosa injury, the Cardinals now have a taxi squad with them out in San Francisco in case there is an outbreak of Edmundo Sosa's injury. And if that's so, right now, Alec Burleson is with the team, Ali Sanchez is with the team, and Jake Walsh is with the team. All three of them are on the taxi squad. They are not part of the 26-man roster right now. They are there just in case there is another player that tests positive and they have to call that guy up immediately. The thinking also too on Saturday, Steven Matz is also with the team back. He was away in Kansas City on the bereavement list, but he rejoined them either middle of the game or at the end of the game yesterday as they were traveling to San Francisco. So he will be in the dugout tonight, but he is also not on the active roster. Packy Naughton still has that 26 spot on the roster. So on Saturday, you will see Packy Naughton go on the taxi squad, and you will see Steven Matz then reactivated and get the start on Saturday. So a lot of moving pieces there, a lot of extra players with the team in San Francisco this weekend that you will probably see or hear about on the broadcast.
How fun is it for those minor leaguers on the taxi squad to sort of pretend you're big league for a few days and you're in San Francisco? That's a pretty cool deal. It's a good rule. I think it's a very good rule that baseball's incorporated, and that's got to be really exciting for those guys.
I don't know how that works. Like, is Ali Sanchez allowed to go out there and warm up the pitcher between innings?
I don't know.
Because I could just say Yachty just being like, hey, you know, you with your 20-year-old knees, you go out there and you catch this because Kisner got stranded on the bases.
You'd have to check the rule to see if they're allowed to be in uniform. That I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. That'd be a question.
We'll check with Claves. So let's check with Claves, and while you're doing it, see if he can get you and I on the taxi squad. If we're not in uniform,
you know what?
We're just traveling with the team, staying at the 5-star hotel.
You know what? Why not carry a backup broadcaster like yourself with the experience that you have in case somebody happens to go down? You could jump right in there and fill any of the roles, TV or radio. You could easily be taxi squad for KMOX or Bally Sports.
If nominated, I would, and elected, I would serve. Yes.
What if it was a series like in Minnesota in April? Would you go, hey, yeah.
Oh, yeah. No,
okay.
I'm telling you something, man. There's nothing like the big leagues.
Yeah.
There's just nothing like the big leagues.
Hey, how this is something that I think other teams might think next year when they look at the Cardinal lineup and you don't see Yadier Molina. And how odd is it to see a San Francisco Giant lineup without the name Buster Posey behind the plate?
Very strange. What a career. It's too bad he had a couple of serious injuries along the way. His numbers would have been even greater. He's really a great player and a good ambassador for the Giants in the game. Yeah, that's, those things turn over and the great ones eventually have to hang them up. You wouldn't know that by looking at the Cardinals roster, but eventually you do. Oh, one other thing I wanted to run by you. I'm actually surprised that Kisner's not starting tonight.
Yeah, I don't know what the rotation has been. I don't know what the call is on something like that. The Cardinals haven't and really don't need to give us an explanation as to what the rotation is going to be.
They do. You're wrong
with this. But Adam Wainwright's next start isn't until Tuesday, with the Cardinals having the off day on Monday. So maybe you just kind of, you give Yachty another game here, and this is 2 in a row for him. Remember, he did not start on Tuesday night, so remember he did not get that start then. So this is just back to back, a day game followed by a very late night game. So a lot of turnaround between these two. So
perhaps so.
Yeah, and then you have, I don't know who Jordan Hicks on the mound tomorrow. I don't know who's been catching him so far this season. I haven't dug deep to figure.
It seems like I didn't go through and do the matchup analysis, but other than Yachty with Waino, I don't know that there's a pattern with a catcher for a pitcher.
No, so we something maybe we should start tracking, or just find somebody else that's already tracking it and steal their work, borrow their work. I'm sorry, borrow their work and give credit to them as well. Rammer, we have late night baseball tonight, and so if you've gotten your practice staying up for Blues games tonight, will be a piece of cake for the Giants and the Cardinals. Should be a good one.
It reminds me of listening to West Coast games. There was an invention, Joe, called a transistor radio. You may have never heard of it, but all of us that are of a certain age would have that in our bedroom under the pillow. If you were lucky enough to have the earpiece, you'd put that in. Otherwise, you'd have it right there, listen to the games late at night from the West Coast with Jack Buck and Harry Carey. It was awesome.
I am 37 years old, and I grew up listening to 670 WMAQ in Chicago to John Rooney and Ed Farmer call White Sox games as a young kid, laying in bed.
But that was on your Dick Tracy watch radio.
No, I just had the radio right next to me. I just had the radio next to me, and I would spin that dial till it got to 670 WMAQ, and if the White Sox game wasn't on, it was the Sports Huddle. Was the name of their late night radio show that they had late at night. I still remember that the name of that show to this day. Listening to that.
Despite the backwards hat and the long hair, you're an old soul.
I was sick of putting it up today, so I just threw the hat on for this.
Out.
Hey, Rammer, we are brought to you each and every day by Munganess St. Louis Acura and also Royal Banks of St. Louis, Missouri.
Mortgage rates are going up, but no matter where they are historically, and I mean for over half a century, Royal Banks will give you the very best rates that are available. They have a fast and convenient application process for mortgages and refis. 314-212-1500 to Royal Banks of Missouri, where better service means better banking.
We will be back tomorrow to preview the Friday and weekend games here on Daily Cards Live. Until then, lots of other stuff up on Claibs Online for your listening pleasure. And as always, Daily Cards Live, Monday through Friday, sponsored by Munganast St. Louis Acura and Royal Banks of Missouri. He's Bob Ramsey. I'm Joe Roderick. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
At St. Louis Acura, we have over 330 pre-owned vehicles of all makes and models. And all of them are covered by our St. Louis Acura Promise and backed by our Better Business Bureau A+ rating and 30 years in business. We also service all makes and models of vehicles, including glass and bumper repair, paint touch-ups, and full mechanical services from one of our 24 technicians. St. Louis Acura, better than ever for you, no matter what vehicle drives you.